Action!
Okay. Hi all. Since we can't meet for a few weeks because of the virus, I figured we would read this book. Here Comes the Girl Scouts by Shunna Corey. This is all about Julia Gordon-Low and how she started the Girl Scouts. Daisy was a girl with gumption. If you don't know what gumption means, it is a noun describing courage, spunk, initiative, and wit. To make yourself strong and healthy, it is necessary to begin with your inside. It is possible for any girl to make herself into a strong and healthy woman if she takes the trouble to do so with a few body exercises each day. She was always considered a wild girl. Daisy grew up in Savannah at a time when proper young ladies were supposed to be dainty and delicate. Can you just stop this? But Daisy came from a family of pathfinders and pioneers. And she wanted adventure and excitement. Fresh air is your great friend. Delicate, thought Daisy. Bosh, how boring. When Daisy grew up, she went traveling. She ready for an adventure. But on a visit home, she got an ear infection and lost almost all of her hearing. She was 70% deaf. Daisy didn't let an obstacle stop her from seeing the world, though. Her mother worried, so Daisy wrote her and reassured her. Here's an example of a postcard. Progress. Daisy's hearing. February 1st. March 1st. February 1st. Heard a foghorn. March 1st. Hearing improved. Heard a camel when it rose. April 1st. Hearing decidedly improved. Heard grass growing.
I think she was messing with her mother.
She was. She had a good sense of humor. Daisy had adventure after adventure. When she wanted a new gate for her house, she took lessons from a blacksmith and forged it herself. Every time you show courage, it grows. She rode elephants in India, visited the Great Pyramids, went fishing during fancy dinner parties, and even flew in a monoplane. A delicious experience, she said. The work of today is the history of tomorrow, and we are its makers. She couldn't wait to get started. She packed a Girl Guide handbook and took a streamer back home. When she arrived, she telephoned her cousin Nina. "Come right over," she said. "I've got something for the girls of Savannah and all of America and all the world, and we're going to start it tonight." And I will say, her niece was the first member of her troops. Getting right down and smelling the fresh soil is good for anyone. On March 12th, 1912, Daisy began her biggest adventure yet. She invited 18 girls to the first Girl Scout meeting. She told them about all the adventures she would have. They'd hike and camp and swim. They'd do good deeds. They'd learn to tie knots and survive in the wilderness and even save lives. The girls thought Daisy's idea was brilliant. She divided them into 2 troops, then taught them the 10 Girl Scout laws. A Girl Scout is honorable, loyal, useful, a friend to all, courteous, pure, kind to animals, obedient, cheerful, and thrifty.
These were the very first Girl Scout laws, but they have changed over all the years.
Thank you, Lila and Roger. From then on, Daisy devoted all of her energy to the Girl Scouts. She designed uniforms for them to wear. Yep. She gave them a carriage house to beat in. She turned the vacant lot across the street from her house into a basketball court, and she even gave the Girl Scouts a boat so they could take trips up and down the river. Whatever you take up, do it with all of your might. Thank you, Roger. Daisy wanted the Girl Scouts to be open to lots of different girls, so she organized troops in private schools, in orphanages, churches, and synagogues, and factories and shops. Of course, some people didn't approve of Daisy's new adventure. The reason why they didn't approve is because at that time, she was asking for everyone, regardless of your class, religion, ethnicity, race, whatever you were and whatever you looked like. If you were a girl, you have a place in Girl Scouts.
And also back then, Girl Scouts, well, girls were actually supposed to be doing girly stuff like braiding hair.
Learning to cook and sew. The idea that girls would go camping and swimming was ridiculous.
To everybody.
So, of course, some people didn't approve of Daisy's new adventure. Here come the Girl Scouts, they grumbled. Unthinkable. Preposterous. But nothing would stop Daisy. A Girl Scout is a friend to all and a sister to every other Girl Scout, no matter what social class she may belong. Daisy and her friend, Professor Walter Hoxie, worked together to write a handbook for the Girl Scouts. The girls read the book and learned all sorts of interesting things, such as how to find the time by stars or by the sun, how to cure hams, how to secure a burglar with 8 inches of cord.
Which I think is very interesting.
Especially if you were to practice that one out.
It was weird.
Waste of time is the worst of waste. We can never get those moments back again. How to stop a runaway horse. Which I don't think horses know how to read. How to get the skin off a sardine.
How do you get a skin off sardine? How? Just how? Literally, how?
Thank you, Roger. How to brush your teeth if a crocodile takes your toothbrush.
This
Which
is
I
just
think-
crazy. Very crazy.
Crocodiles can't pick things up. Really?
Yes, they can. They have teeth. They can run off with it.
No, if with their hands.
Oh, well, yes. Their claws. No, not so much. But what would you do if you didn't have a toothbrush?
Use your hand and then go wash it.
Thank you. The Girl Scouts worked on earning badges such as Dairy Maid, Naturalist, Pioneer, Horsemanship, Swimmer. You will not have any luck unless you try hard. There's Interpreter, Cyclist, and Flyer. To get the full benefit of actual contact with nature, it is absolute It is an absolute necessary to camp out, wherever breath of heaven can reach you, and all wild things are within easy reach. The Girl Scouts went camping. They took an oyster boat to an island near Savannah. They sang songs around the campfire. They feasted on fish and cornbread and turtle eggs. At night, they tiptoed out of their tents and slept under the stars. I just want you to think about eating turtle eggs, because that sounds really gross to me.
And really sad.
In this United States of ours, we have cut down too many trees, so let us plant some trees. Most of all, the Girl Scouts went on walks. They savored the green, they soaked up the sunshine, they breathed the good fresh air. All over Savannah, people saw the Girl Scouts swimming and singing and hiking and camping and playing basketball. Some of them just sniffed and shook their heads. Nature, fresh air, blah, said one dainty damsel. In my day, young ladies knew their place, grouched a grandmama. All that exercise can't be good for them, worried the neighbors. Other people saw them, though, and cheered. Here come the Girl Scouts! They hugged their daughters and smiled and said, "It's about time." When mean girls want you to join in low fun, when you think it's not right, be brave and have more courage to say it isn't right. You will feel twice as happy afterwards. Daisy traveled all over giving speeches and raising money for the Girl Scouts. Many people who heard her started their own troops. Soon there were Girl Scouts across the country. The world looks great to great organizations like the Girl Scouts to break down petty barriers of race and class. And this really was an organization first of its kind to include girls of every ethnicity, race, ability. Once again, if you're a girl, you have a place to get on in the world, to give anything and get anything out of it. Each girl has got to do her part. But Daisy never forgot the Girl Scouts of Savannah. Whenever she wasn't traveling, she visited them and told them all about her adventures. She shared stories of female doctors, scientists, and airplane pilots. And she read to them from the Girl Scout handbook. One of you may someday alter the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. Daisy believed that girls could do anything. Here's some examples of Girl Scouts. And she was right. Girl Scouts have been making a difference ever since, just like Daisy. Rebecca Lobo, an athlete. Natalie Merchant, a musician. Lisa Ling, a journalist. Lucille Ball, an actress. Every little girl grows up to make some part or parcel of our great whole nation. Gloria Steinem, activist. Hillary Clinton, politician. Rita Dove, poet. And you. I should also mention 80% of women in Congress were a Girl Scout at one point.
And that's the end, women and ladies.
It's not quite the end.
I have a question.
Oh, you have a question? What's your question?
How did reading this book make you feel?
It makes me feel very inspired and want to do more. And here is a picture of Daisy in her youth.
I have a question.
Roger, what is your question?
My question is,
This is a picture of Girl Scouts enjoying the outdoors.
This is the original troops. Roger, what's your question?
what do you think this is true or not true? True.
All of this is true, Roger.
Because this is a joy. All of these Girl Scouts.
And so
These
here-
are real photographs.
Yes. And so the law today, like we talked about before, is currently, I will do my best to be honest and fair,
Take a picture.
friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, strong and courageous, and responsible for what I say and do, respect myself and authority, use resources wisely, and make the world a better place and be a sister to every Girl Scout.
Good.
And some more facts are on the back of this book. Did you know there are more than 3.2 million Girl Scouts throughout the world? More than 50 million Americans enjoyed Girl Scouting during their childhood. March 2012 marks the 100th anniversary. So thank you. Thank you to Lila, my camera person. Thank you, Roger, for your hand motions and your questions. And thank you, Emily, for your cheering.